and action. Hello. This is supposed to be a demo of using hexadecimal colors in a Python program. To be able to do that, we got to have a Python program. Idle, which is an ironic name, isn't it? Most of the time we use idle. We are not idle at all. Well, I don't want a new file. Actually, I cheated just a little bit and got started. Where's the open? Open. Right before I came here, I had the presence of mind go into my workshop folder and start a stoplight Gesundheit program. Let me get the line numbers. Let me get the font bigger. Is that big enough to see in the back of the room? Yes? Okay. Here's the head start, and I hope none of this is new to you. The header block, that's new to some of you. That is where we type in comments that explain what this file is and what the program does as a whole. I'm calling this stoplight.py because that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to make it, let's see, let's start with the green. We'll go green, yellow, and then red. So that'll be our colors to demonstrate. Try out hex colors. PS, go Pioneers. Connect to the graphics library. You've seen that from graphics import star. Width and height symbolic constants so I can parameterize things. And I made a graphic window that I called stoplight. And way down at the bottom, before I forget, close up shop, the get mouse in the close. Let me run it to make sure I didn't break anything. There it is. You know, that's actually kind of small. I never remember to do that. I'm supposed to click inside the graphics window. That's why I get that ugly red paragraph of death. Let me try just adjustment 800 500, and I'm definitely gonna quit playing with that stuff. Once I get something that's usable that everybody can see, that's good enough. There, that is big enough. Watch me click inside the graphics window. I know I can do it. I did it. Okay. To make a stoplight, this is not going to be a fancy stoplight hanging from wires over the road or on a post or anything. It's just going to be a circle. But if we can do it for a circle, we can do it for a fancier picture. Make a, you're looking up circle while I'm typing this. Make a circular stoplight. So, an excellent name for this variable would be stoplight equals, I don't want to make a circle, graphics object in Python. We're never going to get done if you can't help me. I don't want to have to look everything up myself. What kind of object do we use to make a circle in Python? Who's buried in Grant's tomb? Circle. What does it need to know? Now, even if you know the name, it's wise to look up in your graphics reference to save yourself some time in the long run to see what things it needs to know to make the circle. What's the first piece of information it needs to make a circle object? Center point. Stop, light, center. What's the second thing it needs to know? Radius. Stoplight radius. Okay, that was easy. Except we don't have those things. Stop. It could be camel casing the light, I suppose. Maybe not, but I'll go with that. It's easier to read. Stop wasting time on that stuff. Okay. Stop light center equals. What kind of a thing is the anchor point or the center point that it wants? What kind of object? It's a point. And what does a point want to know? An X and a Y. Let's parameterize this because I might go ahead and I might change the window again. I want it right smack in the middle of the screen. How can I do right smack in the middle? Thank you. Width divided by 2. And halfway down is height divided by 2. There. That should make us a circle. And I've already got the graphics window. So I can't find the cursor. There it is. Now I need to tell it to display itself in my one and only one graphics window. Stoplight.draw W. Try that. Run module. Okay. Oh no! Stoplight radius is not defined. I knew that. I just did this if you're paying attention. Stoplight radius. I hate to burst your bubble if you still have one, but I don't get these things right the first time. This is actual trial and error stuff here, which is why I keep harping on keep your example programs handy, keep your graphics reference handy, be able to look this stuff up. Shut up and type. Okay. Stoplight radius, I want it to be half as tall as the window, so I've got to take the height and divide by 4. This is me thinking in real time. So if the radius is height divided by 4, then the diameter, which is twice the radius, should be half the height of the window. Is there a question? Okay. Run module. Okay. There it is. There's our stoplight. Not terribly interesting at this point. Is there a question? If you need to ask something, then speak up so I can hear you. Okay. I've made the stoplight. I need to make it thicker. That's one of the more mystical, mysterious ones, isn't it? How do you make the line thicker on a circle? Set width, I believe. That sounds familiar. Stoplight dot set width, and that's probably camel case like the others. I'm going to make it really wide because I want to really be able to see the outside edge. 30. That might even be too much. Oh, no, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to say I meant to do that. That looks pretty good. We'll stick with that. Okay, so I've got the stoplight. What I don't have is color. I could, and I shall. I said we're going to start with go, and then caution, and then stop, right? Go, last I recall, is green. So now that I've got this other stuff done, stoplight, set fill, we've already talked about that. And we'll do it the boring way, green. Run module. Oh no, that's green. It's just not a satisfying green. It's a little darker, like a little tinge of blue in there maybe. I need some way to be more specific. Well, lucky me. Let me shrink this temporarily. Let's all go to the web, shall we? All you got to type, watch this, all you got to type is hex colors, and you get all kind of stuff here. Color hex color codes, color hex. Yeah, those are little tiles. I bet they don't have, what did I say, 16.5 million? We don't have to guess it. Let me pull the calculator up. I'm multitasking here. Of course I'm in programmer. If I go to hex, the maximum for each of the color components would be F. So if I do F, 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 change that to decimal. 16,777,215 colors. It's actually 16,777,216 because 0 is not counted in this number. Absolute 0. Goose egg across the board is black, just as you'd expect. The other extreme, if you make it solid Fs all the way across, it's white. Everything else in between is a shade of some other color. I don't like this. User's favorite color. They didn't even ask us. How do they know that's user's favorite colors? HTML color codes. Oh, they're fancy. Oh, look at this. There, I can get all kind of colors. Look at this. It's showing me right here. I would expect this color to be, let's see, RGB. I would expect it to be more green than anything else. Look at this hexadecimal code. X33FF5B. Why, yes, I believe so. I don't know what yellow is. It's some mix. Yellow is apparently a lot of red, a lot of green, and a little bit of blue. I might want to know that later. I want one where I can type in the hex number. Colors hex. There's got to. Well, all you got to do is wish. Look at this. FF and solid zeros. Let's experiment. And I covered it up. I still can't see it. Someone tell me what color I made up at the board. We made up at the board. It was what? Hex 13? 3B, FF. Well, that just looks like plain blue, doesn't it? That is so blue, it looks like regular blue. Oh well. And here, you can just play around with this. Just type in any number you want. I'm going to try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 hex digits. And it's ugly. Well, now I know I don't want to use that color. Let me go the other direction. F, E, C, no, G, C, I can't, alphabet backwards. B, A. That's going to be, let me predict, that's going to be probably a really light gray. Or whatever the heck that is. I don't know. But now, you know what? I'm going to keep this window open so I can come back here and experiment with colors. I first of all need a green, RGB. So I'm going to try 22, then FF33. Yeah, that's good enough for a stoplight, right? 22FF33. Come back, Python, come back. Where are you? I've lost it. There it is. So instead of green, remember fruit fly, I forgot it already. Was it 22FF33? Okay. That should still be green because it's primarily green. Let me see. Run module. Okay. Yeah. And that's a lot lighter. If I recall, the earlier one was pretty dark. It's much more satisfying. I like that green a lot better. I don't like the outline. That is too obnoxious. So let me make the outline dark green. How do we do the outline? Is it as simple as set outline? Can life be that simple? Wonderful. Stop light. Set outline. Now, you want to guess a hexadecimal number that, what did I say? Light green or dark green? Let's go dark green. If this is that bright green we just now saw, what do you think a dark green might be? Lower all the way across. Let me take it approximately half. 1, 1 is half of that. F is 15, 7, 7, and 3 is also, if I do that. Is that going to work? Is everybody okay with that? Oh, yeah. Oh, just pretend like I meant to do that. Let's see what kind of error we get if I don't put the pound symbol. But you are right, it does need a pound symbol. Oh, that is one of the hugest red paragraphs of death I've seen this semester. Unknown color name. 117711. I gave it a color that it didn't know. Well, that's because it's not formatted properly. There we go. Run module. This is just getting better all the time, or so I claim. Who has a question about how we got the go? Everybody's okay with the go? So now we're ready to do the, well, I'll get mouse before I can do anything else. So it'll stop before we move on to the next step. Get mouse. Brain freeze. How are we going to do the yellow? How do we make it yellow? Do I need to go through all these steps again? Let's try that. Well, let's think through this. We're doing an experiment, and I'm going to follow what you said, but first of all, I want to see what we are doing. The first part sets up for making the circle, then actually makes the circle. Then after that, we adjust some things. Set the width, and this is what we want to focus on, the color stuff. Setting the fill color, setting the outline color, the two different greens, and then we draw it. And now you're saying to make the caution, which is yellow, the hardest one for me because it's not a color component. Caution. That's a pretty alarming way to write it, but I'll do it anyway. And the motion on the floor is we try to do what to make this happen? I want to change the color. I want it to change from green to yellow, because caution. That's the signal that you're supposed to speed up because it's about to turn red. Could it be as simple? Could we be so lucky? Could life be as friendly as just to let us change the set fill with a pound sign before I forget and a closing quote? And can I find? Yes, there it is. Hexadecimal colors. Now I need little tiles I can click on. The yellow was like strong two components at the beginning, right? I'll just max it out. FFFFOO. That's yellow. Listen to me complaining, and yellow was easy. Mental note, max out the red and the green. You can experiment with these. You can come up with every color you can imagine and then some, unless you're good at imagining 16.5 million colors. FFFFOO. Okay, now I gotta find Python again. You've outlived your usefulness. Come back. Set fill, hexadecimal, FFFFOO. And that's already going to have a get mouse to stop it so I can see it. What it should do is make my green light, wait for the mouse, and then make it yellow. Sometimes what it should do and what it actually does are different things. There's green. Cross your fingers. Say silent prayer. Where genius is. But the outline is still green. I want to make the outline related to yellow. Stop light dot set outline. And I want to go dark yellow. It probably is going to look like some kind of brown. But if I cut all those in half, that's approximately 7, 7, 7, 7. 0 in half is still 0. All we can do is try it. But Dr. England, you're typing in one line and then running it. Type it in one line and running it. Welcome to my development paradigm. I do that all the time. There's no point in continuing on with a bunch of gunk in the program until you're sure the stuff you typed in already works. Click. That's not pretty, but it's good enough. Who has a question so far? Hmm. I wonder if I can draw it and then set the colors. There's one way to find out, isn't there? Control X will cut it. Control V will paste it. This makes this circle and draws it, and then sets the fill and sets the outline. I expect it'll work because it worked changing the colors. I hope it's not ugly. I hope it doesn't flash gray and then green. If it did flash, it happened so quickly I didn't see it. Click and I changed the color. Hmm. I'm thinking this looks repetitious. And to get the stoplight, it's yet going to be repetitious again. Oh, if only Python had a way to take care of repetitious things. Does Python have a way to take care of repetitious things? What? Loops. If I'm going to go, whatever I'm doing, green, yellow, red. How many times do I need to loop? Let me do it again. Count as I say them. Green, yellow, and then red. How many times will that be? 3? Okay. Let's see if we can do that. And I'll even put a comment to make it look professional and official. Loop through all stoplight colors. That doesn't look like a loop. Watch what I can do. Watch what I can do. I've already got something typed in, and I'm realizing right off the bat that it's starting to get a little repetitious. Well, I guess I need to make a loop first, and then I'll do a watch what I can do. Oh dear, we got to remember for loops. For he's a jolly good fellow. How do we finish out the for loop? For I is ignorant. For I in, how do we make it loop exactly 3 times? For I in 3? Who likes that? Nobody likes that. Oh, for I in what will loop exactly 3 times? Remember, the for loop always goes through a list. I could just put a list in square brackets. That's not too many times. But I want it to be general. In general. How could I loop 3 times? I'll type it while you think about it, and then you can say it when you see it on the screen. Range 3. Spelled with an A. Now, is that going to loop through my code 3 times? I won't need this anymore because I'm going to do a loop to change all the colors. I repeat my question. Is that going to loop through the set fill and set outline and get mouse 3 times? It is. Let's try it. Oh! Expected an indented block after for statement on line 30. That's about as specific as you can get. What does it not like about my code? My for loop is empty. Why does it think my for loop's empty? Not indented. We worked our way all the way back around to, let me show you. Highlight the lines that you want to put inside your loop if you already have them. Go to Format, comment it out. No, I still want to run it. Silly me. Uncomment. I want to, it's got to be in there somewhere. Indent region. Ta-da. I could have done the whole program that way. If you've already written a bunch of code and you don't want to have to go back and type it in again just to put it inside a loop, like, oh, I don't know, drawing sets of 4 triangles, then you can get it working for one set of 4 triangles, retrofit a for loop at the top of it, and then indent all the stuff you want to have executed several times. What a handy shortcut. Now, what is wrong with the way I have it to change the colors from green to yellow to red? What's wrong with this picture? Is this going to work? We'll try it. There's green. Here's the first click. That still looks pretty green to me. Click. That's the third click. It doesn't look like it's doing very much. Well, it exited. What's wrong with this picture? There's one color. It's actually doing what I asked it to do. It's just setting the color to the same thing over and over and over again. How can we make it? Here's the question of the hour. How can we make it change colors every time it goes through the loop? Make a list. Check it twice. I'm going to make a constant list. In other words, I'm going to set colors that are constants. There's no reason to ever change them. I need red and yellow and green, and that's all. Colors equals, and what colors? Well, I think I've already erased the second one. 22FF33. Hexadecimal, # 22FF33. Does anybody have a better memory than I do? What was yellow? Oh, yes, you're exactly right. I remember it now. That's what? Green, yellow, red. Let's invent a red. You know how to go to the web and find a red that you really, really like. But let's just do a random hexadecimal number that we suspect is going to turn out to be red. Well, that's too red. I don't think I can handle that. FE, we'll back it off just a little, and maybe, I don't know, 0B and 1. Will that still be primarily a red color? I think so. There we go. There's our list. Now will it work? Whoops, square bracket. Now we've got it. I typed in something. I better run it. Run module. No. Where do I use the colors? Where do those come into play? Set fill. Set fill doesn't take a literal string anymore. When you type in the string in quotes, that's called a literal string. It is literally that string. What do I want the color to be when I go through the loop the first time? Which one of these? Which one of these colors the first time through the loop do I want it to be? The first one. What is the index number of the first one? 0. Then I want it to be index number 1. Then I want it to be index number 2. Do I need to set up a new variable that keeps up with the color index I want to use? Starting off at 0, and then 1, and then 2. It's a Boolean question. You got a 50-50 chance of getting it right. Yes or no? Do I need a new variable to keep up with the index of the color?
No.
No. Why not? I can use the for loop index. When I first introduced for loops, I may have told you that for loops just love lists. And it goes both ways. Lists love for loops. This for loop for I in range 3 will easily go through a list of length 3, like so. COLORS, square bracket, I. Or so I claim. Listen to me talking all fancy and big and everything, and it'll probably crash and burn. Run! Okay, let's see. There's green. Click, click. That is in my screen, that is a cool looking magenta. I mean, the center of it. I don't know why I had extra clicks there. Oh, I've got a get mouse here and then another one down at the bottom. That's okay. Let's pretend I meant to do that. So we need an extra click to get out of here. The outline's bothering me. How can we make it so the outline changes as well? Another list. You can have as many lists as you want. We could call this one outlines and use the same index number. I, as we go through the for loop, is going to go 0, 1, 2, and it's going to march through our list. Index number 0, index number 1, index number 2. And I don't remember any of the outline colors I did. OUTLINES equals. Does everybody understand what's going on here with the list and automatically changing it every time I go through the loop? I suspect that's going to come in as very handy knowledge in the next week or so. Let's see. Quote, pound, and the first one was green, and I cut it in half, I think. 1, you don't have to do this exactly the same. I'll do 116622 just to mix it up and hope that that's still a dark green. Dark yellow, pound sign. I'll just cut all those down to size. 666600. That sounds ominous. And let's see, about half of red will be about 7, 8, 0, half of B. I don't take half of B very often. About 5 and 0, 0. There. I just made those up. If you want serious control, creative control, make sure all your colors go together, then go to one of those many hexadecimal color websites and choose colors to your heart's delight. Let's run this and see what happens. Run module. Green, here we go. Yellow, and that's an awfully dark yellow band. I would probably change that if I were going to continue doing this till I really liked it. And red, oh, I like that a lot. Red with dark red. And a couple of clicks. Who has a question about that? We didn't tell the user what to do. What if we wanted to tell the user what to do each time? We got a few minutes left. How could we do that? How could we tell the user what we want them to do? Text object. We could put that up here. Here's the stoplight and message. MSG equals text. I forget. Honestly, I forget. What does a text object need to know to be able to make itself? Does anybody have their graphics manual handy? A set. Well, we can set text after we have one. Set text is a method on a text object. The text very first of each one of these graphics objects tells you what you got to do to make one in the first place. What do we need to be at? Yes. Okay, we need an anchor point, which is going to be the center of the box that the text is in. So I'll call this text anchor, A-N-C-H-O-R, and the text string, what are we going to tell them to do? Let me visualize. What should happen when it first shows up on the screen? Click to continue. How's that for creative programming? And that'll make the text. I need to make a text anchor. Text anchor equals, and that's a point object. If I recall all of those center points and the anchors and so forth, a point, I want it halfway across, width /2. And we'll drop it down from the ceiling a little bit. I'll just ballpark this and say maybe about 15. And if that doesn't look good when I run it, then we'll try something else. Click to continue. I need to draw itself. The most likely step for me to forget is the message.draw in our only one graphics window. And then I'll pause and let them think about it so they have time to see the message before they click to continue. w.getMouse. Run. Click to continue. It's tiny, but it's there. There. Then it transitions to green. And we'll say that we meant to do that. We have a stoplight that's turned off, and it goes through all the colors, and the click to continue is locked in. And it's ugly because it's saying click to continue the whole time. How can we change that? How can we make it so that every time it displays a color, it says something like click to stop, click to caution, click to go, whatever. Set text. Before we get mouse, we can also set the text in there. MSG dot set text to what? What if I want it to change every time I go through the loop? Another list, MSG, in capital letters, because I'm setting up these lists. Once I decide what goes in there, I'm not going to change those while the program's running. Message, square bracket, I. Now all I got to do is come up with messages I want to use. MSG equals click to go. Somehow or another, no, click to caution. I think it's going to do green after it says click to continue. Maybe that should have been click to go. But it's too late now. We don't have time to change it. Click to stop. And then the last time, it could be something like click to exit. Click to run for it. There. You can do text messages in a list and hope that they change when you run the program. Let us check and see. Click to continue. I predicted correctly. We don't want to have click to go there because it's already got to go. That should have been the first message. Too late to change it. Click to caution. There's caution. Click to stop. Click to run for it. Run the red light. Click, click. I had to do 2 clicks. That's a little glitch in the logic I could figure out. Look at that. That whole program fits in one screen, and it is so powerful. All the color changes, all the word changes, all the everything. If anybody has any questions, ask right now. Yes. I will leave this on the screen so that when you watch the video, you can copy it if you want to. Yeah, this is an in-class demo. It's not an official example program. So I don't want people to have too many shortcuts to take, or they don't really understand what they're using. That's the voice of experience speaking. So I'll do this. I'll make this window maximized. There. If you don't want to watch the whole video, you can go to the end of the video and freeze frame, and there it is. The end.